Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to FireManFitness. You're joining the EMT class. You're taking the right stepping stone to get into many different fields. EMT class could be, like I said, a stepping stone for any career that you want to get into. Whether you want to be a nurse, some nurses actually do take this class. There's people who want to become paramedics, which is great. And if you want to become a firefighter like me, I want to be a fire medic, but this is just like the first step. So every firefighter is an EMT, and then obviously to become a paramedic, you also have to be an EMT. You have to have your hours in, take all kinds of different classes just so you can take your paramedic class. To be a firefighter, you gotta join the academy, but first, before you join the academy, you have to be an EMT. And if you want to become a paramedic, you have to be an EMT. So if you want to be a fire medic, take your EMT class, and that's why you guys are here today, I'm pretty sure. So today's video is just gonna be my advice to the new EMT students. Congratulations, by the way. And then my tips and tricks, how I got through EMT school, how I took tests, how I studied, etc. So I know EMT school could be very intimidating for the first couple weeks, or just in general. There's a lot of stuff that you have to do, a lot of stuff you have to turn in just before you actually get to your midterm. If you don't turn stuff in before you get to your midterm, you could be dropped, unfortunately. So just get your stuff turned in. So I know there's a TB you have to turn in, and some other shot records, so keep that in mind. So you're gonna be meeting so many great people, nice, genuine people, and there's gonna be some people who are not so friendly. You're gonna meet people that kind of irritate you, and you're gonna wanna kind of be rude to them or whatever, but keep your composure. You don't want to start an altercation over something that could be fixed. You know, you're gonna be spending 204 hours with these students. I actually have proof that it's 204 hours. So just be nice, be friendly, keep your composure. I know it could be hard, but you know, it's okay to walk out and just take deep breaths. You guys are not gonna always be agreeing on everything that you guys do when it comes to treating a patient, stuff like that. But if you have the knowledge and the facts, try to hit them with the facts and explain to them, because you never know. The EMS field is extremely small, so you could see these people or be working with them as well. So you always want to build a great relationship. I know every single classmate that I had, I never had a problem with anyone. If we had a disagreement, we just kind of shared our knowledge and kind of came to a conclusion how we could fix the problem or how we could treat the patient. In the medical field, it could be very competitive. I understand that. I've been to EMT school. I went to the fire academy, which is also competitive. So I know that you might just want to always kind of be right, but sometimes it's okay to admit that you're wrong. Other than that, your instructors are going to be there for you. Everything that you're going to need, your instructors should be there for you. They should be giving you guys extra skill days, or just come in so you can get your hands-on skills, but that's a different topic. Alright guys, let's talk about EMT orientation. EMT orientation is where you're going to be receiving all the information that you need, and if your school has a uniform guy there, buy your uniform as well. For me, I bought 4 shirts, including a long sleeve and my polo, and then I bought this sweater. EMT orientation, you will be receiving a student EMT program handbook. This has everything that you need to know about EMT school. So it talks about your grade point average, what do you need to score on each test just to pass the program. It tells you our mission, pretty much your dressing, your dress codes, everything is in your student handbook. I could sit here for probably 20 minutes reading this to you and giving you all extra information, but you know, you're gonna find out this information soon enough. And then this video is pretty much just me telling you about my tips and tricks. This is really not tips and tricks, just read the handbook, be prepared for your EMT school. The next thing is your calendar. So for us, they gave us an EMT calendar. This is our whole semester on 2 pages. So it tells us all the dates, everything's due. There's stuff that you need to turn in, such as a tuberculosis test, it's a 2-step TB test, etc. All kinds of different other stuff. Has phone numbers on here as well, including the handbook. So if you have any questions, contact your professors. One thing that I could say is do not miss EMT orientation. If you miss your orientation, most programs will drop you from their program, and they'll give the next student in line who's behind you their priority registration, which means they're going to be taking your spot in your EMT class. So do not miss EMT orientation then expect to just walk into class like everything's fine. Some programs, they'll be lenient and they'll give you that warning and be like, we almost dropped you, or there's some programs that will just flat out drop you. My school actually will flat out drop you. If you do not show up to orientation, they will drop you because the wait list is really big and there's other students who want to be there. And by you not being there, you're showing them that you're not really interested in the EMS field, which they're going to be giving the spot to someone who is interested. So just take that into great consideration. Cancel everything that you have planned for your orientation date so you can be there. It says, like for mine, I believe it was like 9 to 10, but we were actually there till like almost 1. So don't make plans after your orientation, just be there for your orientation. Alright guys, so your next thing is pretty much having your uniform all set, ready to go for your first day of EMT school. I can't really think of a reason why you shouldn't have your uniform for your first day. Everyone from my class had their uniform ironed, everything was ready to go. I would say get it ready the night before if you have to. I don't care if you had to get it ready a week before, just have your uniform ready for your EMT school. And you're kind of wondering what you have to do or what uniforms you have to wear, I would ask your school, ask your professor, or at your orientation they should be sharing this information with you. If you don't know what to wear, in the next clip I'm actually going to have a kind of lineup for uniforms. When I first started EMT school, or when I was looking for a program, I was actually looking at different uniforms for different colleges, so I could actually buy the uniform in advance or just see how much it was going to cost me. At the time I was working 2 jobs. I was working at Coles in Fontana, and I was also a forklift driver. So yeah, next clip will just be me talking about uniforms, so stay tuned for that.
Alright, so I looked in a few EMT schools, and some of the requirements are the uniforms and the styles. This is one style. This is like the least likely that I've seen, but this is actually my Fire Explorer uniform. But it's the exact same thing with the EMT patch on the side, with your nameplate, 2 pins, and then a notepad. Like I said, this is really unlikely, but there is some EMT schools that actually require you to have this. Moving on to the next one, this is actually what I wear right now. This is just the regular t-shirt. I have a long sleeve just because it's cold, with the EMS in the back. This is what we wear every day for class. And then moving on to the polo, some classes actually require you to have a polo shirt. We actually wear ours for clinical and write-outs. So like I said, some require it, some don't. I think it's really cool for the places that let you wear t-shirts, just because they're way easier to pretty much take care of, and you know, you could just buy several and then they'll last you for a long time, compared to a polo that like the material is kind of thin, so it could snag and rip, and then you might have to buy multiple ones as well. And then these run more than just a regular t-shirt, and these roughly cost around $40 to $60, just depends what company your guys' school goes with. So just keep that in mind when you look into a program. Also, I would highly suggest investing in some long sleeves or a hoodie, sweater if you are going for like the fall semester, just because it gets really cold, and you know, there's a lot of places where you actually cannot wear any name brand clothes. It has to be a sweater with your logo on it. You can't wear like a Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, stuff like that. There's some places that are really strict, so keep that in mind when you're shopping for your uniforms.
Alright guys, let's talk about the first 3 weeks of EMT school. Your first 3 weeks of EMT school is extremely crucial. Hit the books, hit your terminology, all that. Make sure you're doing the homework, make sure you're reading, make sure you're getting some good sleep in, because I'm telling you right now, your first 3 weeks will determine if you're going to either be a successful student who's going to graduate and then eventually take their national registry and move on in their career, or a student who is going to have to drop out and retake the class if you choose to. A lot of students actually, when they taste defeat for the first time for EMT school and they feel like they devoted all this time, they usually don't come back. Don't be that student. If you actually do fail, it's okay. Just learn from your mistakes, get back on the horse, and do it again. Pretty much my advice for that. Like I said, do your homework, do your terminology, make sure you get some really good sleep in, because this is your make or break. Our professors will actually tell you that the first 3 weeks determines everything, how your semester is gonna go. Whether you need to pick up the pace, or you're pretty much gonna drop out, or you're doing really good, just keep on doing what you're doing. So keep that in mind when you're going to EMT school. The next thing on my list is actually how to test. There's a lot of students like myself who second guess themselves, so they actually know the knowledge and they actually know but we second guess ourselves. So we see 2 right answers and there's only 1 right answer. So pretty much what I did was, and what my professor actually told us was, read the question, okay, make sure you read the question and then cover the answers. I know it could be time consuming, but read the question, cover the answers, read the question again, read the answers, and then erase 2 that are automatically gonna be wrong, and then determine out of those 2 that you actually have left which one is the right answer. If you're second guessing yourself, stuff like that could be your make or break for your EMT school. I know it was for me last semester, that's why I had to retake this semester. Alright guys, let's talk about homework. Homework is extremely important. Not every professor does it, but if your professor does give you guys homework, I would say do it. For our school, we didn't get no extra credit for it. She just gave us homework, and it was for that week's test. So it would ask you questions like, what's hypervolemic shock, or how do you treat a patient with hypervolemic shock, stuff like that. Just all kinds of great information that we could actually use towards the test. Some questions were multiple choice, some questions were fill in the blank. So make sure you do your homework. If we stopped doing our homework, we didn't get any more homework. She wanted to make sure that it was benefiting us, and if we weren't gonna do the work, she wasn't gonna waste her time printing out and typing up homework that we weren't gonna do. So if you have homework, just do your homework. It will help you out in the long run, I promise you that. Alright guys, let's talk about equipment. Most programs will actually provide you with every equipment that you need, but it's okay to actually go out and buy yourself a stethoscope and a blood pressure cuff. So with this stuff right here, if you're not good at taking blood pressures and you know it, you can get this stuff on Amazon, I believe for a set for like $5 if I'm not mistaken. If you have Amazon Prime, it will actually send to your house for free. Students actually get like 1 or 2 months free if I'm not mistaken, so keep that in mind once you buy your equipment, all the stuff that you're gonna need, because I have one more thing to keep in mind for your Amazon purchases. So don't just go out right now and just buy this stuff. Wait till the end of the video. I'll tell you guys about a book that I actually use for the EMT program, and it actually helps out a lot, so stay tuned for that. Alright guys, let's talk about skills labs. Skills labs are extremely important. You're gonna learn how to save people's lives. You're gonna learn how to splint. You're gonna learn how to give emergency births, which is OB. You're gonna learn how to do a ton of stuff, CPR. You're gonna learn how to keep an airway open, clear, and maintainable. You're gonna learn how to administer oxygen, all kinds of cool stuff that you're gonna learn as an EMT. Not only that, but you get tested on this stuff as well. So if you have your skills labs, and if they're offering more skills labs additionally, I would say make every effort as possible just to make it to those skills labs. You're gonna be tested on everything. I just got done with my skills lab. I passed everything, but like I said, take the extra time and do your skills labs. Take the extra ones. It doesn't hurt to get the extra hands-on skills. You learn how to backboard, how to put a C-collar on, and all this stuff, believe it or not, you're gonna be using it in your ride-out. Alright guys, so let's talk about having confidence. Having confidence is extremely important in the EMS field. So you want a confident EMT, paramedic, or fire medic arriving to your call, right? So you have to be confident. If you're taking a blood pressure and you actually get 120/80, don't be like, oh, the blood pressure is 120, I believe, over 80. No, be like, I got the BP 120/80. Be confident with it. Everything that you say and do, be confident. There's being confident, and then there's being cocky. No one likes a cocky EMT. No one likes cockiness in general. If you think that you know everything, that's completely fine, but keep it to yourself. If you are gonna be working with people in your class and they might not be liking you because you are too cocky, being confident and cocky are two completely different things. If you know everything, that's fine, but just remember there's always someone else that knows a little bit more than you. So if you see someone in class struggling, don't be a jerk if they don't know the answer to something. We're all there to learn, so just help them out, you know, to be friendly. We're all gonna be working together for 204 hours. So 204 hours is a lot of time to kind of build a relationship or a trust, or pretty much having someone hate you, if I'm just being upfront. So let's get to the next topic. Alright guys, so if you want to be successful in the EMT program, I would highly suggest take your terminology very serious. Terminology based stuff is 80% of EMT school, believe it or not. You gotta learn how to transfer care. You gotta learn how to transfer the information to a nurse. You gotta learn how to do a radio run-in report. All this stuff is the terminology stuff. Terminology could actually change your questions on your test. So if you don't know the word, you can get the answer wrong just because you didn't know what that definition was to that word. So this stuff is extremely important, guys. Take your terminology very serious. It's probably one of the most important things that you're gonna have to do for EMT school. So if you're transferring care to a nurse, you're gonna have to learn like proximal, distal, stuff like that, medial. You're gonna have to say, like, if he has like a fractured jaw, they're not gonna be like, oh, I believe he has a fractured jaw. He has a fractured mandible, or he has a fracture in his zygomatic arches. He has raccoon eyes. He has vital signs at the back of his ear, cerebral spinal fluid, etc. Decap BTLS. He has like a deformity in his head, stuff like that. So take terminology serious. Take it serious, and let's get on to the next part of the video. So you're gonna be at school pretty much all day. For my class, it's 9 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock at night. Portable chargers are helpful. Believe it or not, you can go to TJ Maxx. I got this one for like 25 bucks. They're pretty cheap. They last you like 3 charges, at least this one does. So get yourself a portable charger, get yourself a couple portable chargers. Bring food as well, bring money for food for when you have your lunch. If you want to just stay there, pack your lunch. I usually pack my lunch just because I don't really like eating up that much, but if I didn't have time the night before because I was studying, I would just go out and buy lunch. Alright guys, so this next thing is very important for EMT students. I believe every EMT should have it. This actually helped me get through EMT school. This book right here, the EMT Crash Course book, you can get this on Amazon. I believe I got this for like $10. This book has everything for EMT school. Everything that you're gonna learn, hands-on stuff, skills, everything that you're gonna learn is in this book right here. The book is really cheap for all the knowledge that it has. It actually gives you a practice national registry online test.